Hello, amazing souls. Welcome back to another episode with me on my channel Cosmic Contracts with Princess Starlight. So, today this is a channeling. It's not channeling, but it's like when I write, I get intuitive thoughts. So, I wrote this message, and this is by the Egyptian goddess Bastet. So, why did I draw this childlike picture? It's to show you that if you are trying to connect with the energy of God, goddess, archangels, angels, of whoever you believe in, all right, you don't have to do elaborate ceremonies all the time, but in order to connect, right, you can just write the name. Word is energy in itself, or you can draw a little picturization, a picture, and connect to the energy and then get your messages. So you can do it for anything. Now, Goddess Bastet, she is the representation of divine feminine, right? Now, because this new age era is all about the rise of divine feminine, many high priests, priestesses from Lemuria, Atlantis, Egypt, they are now waking up, and they are working on the rise of divine feminine, because divine feminine is the energy that's stored in your womb space, and there it's kind of blocked by all the emotions and thoughts you collect, the energy form it's stored there, that suppresses your individuality, creativity, sexuality, sensuality, and then the ideas that you have, the creativity that you have. You're going to birth that at many levels: mental, physical, emotional, right? Just so many. Before I go on, let me move on to a picture so that I don't bore you with my writing. All right, so here, do you see this is Goddess Bastet. Now, do you see the sign, this Ankh sign? Let me do a little bit, if you see this one right here. This is, it used to come a lot in my visions, and this is Ankh, and this represents reincarnation, rebirth. Egyptian culture is all about balancing of the scale, justice, that means your karmas, and then reincarnation, that your life, your soul is eternal, moving from time again and again. And do you see this instrument right here that she's holding? This instrument is the sound vibration to connect your body, to align your body sound, your vibration to the sound and your vibration of universe and your god and goddesses. And this comes from Pleiades, from the seven sisters, right? And these two are very important symbols. And Lady Bastet, she is known for her cat-like features, right? So a little bit about Lady Bastet before we move on. It's very, very important that people we know a little bit about what she represents, right? So she is, in short, the goddess of fertility, protection, bringer of good health. Now, many goddesses in various cultures they represent the same thing, right? Like in my Indian culture, in the Hindu culture, we connected with Parvati Ma, or goddess Parvati, for fertility, for bringing in protection, right? And then we have Mother Mary, we have Mary Magdalene, we have Isis. So many goddesses connected with fertility, protection, and pleasure. And now, if you're wondering, right, that is she Sekhmet, then Sekhmet is her sister. And let me talk about these two sisters in the meanwhile. Before that, let's know that she is the daughter of Ra. If you have heard the Ra channelings, it's a collective consciousness, but before that, in Egyptian times, they came here and they helped bring out the advanced civilization. But again, down the line, corruption brought in, and the Egyptians, they too had their downfall. So for another 10,000 years or so, Ra consciousness did not communicate with the humans on this planet. And then she is sister to Sekhmet. Now Sekhmet, she is I'm sure, I hope I'm pronouncing it correct, but it's Shekmet. Now she is connected with the god. She is the goddess of war. Okay, she is the goddess of war, and also the destroyer of her enemy. She's very similar to Goddess Kali, right? And she is also the patron deity connected to physicians, healers. So one side, um, we have Bastet for fertility, for sensuality, for connecting with your divine feminine. At the same time, Sekhmet is also connecting to your divine feminine side of that energy of a warrior, destruction. And remember, divine feminine is not all about being nice, kind, compassionate, and always understanding. I will, when once I read the message, you'll understand why. But at the same time, it's also about understanding that you have a voice, understanding that you are also born to be a warrior, a leader in every aspect, not just one. And you need to, because being a female, if you have a physical body of a female, then you have to, this is the best time to balance the scales and bring out the divine feminine. Once the divine feminine gets balanced, the divine masculine starts to heal. Once the divine masculine starts to heal, because we are seeing collectively how toxic the masculine energy has become. We keep saying men are toxic, toxic. It's not that. It's the toxic masculine that has been really damaged because of the damage done to divine feminine for thousands of years. So when we heal the divine feminine, the divine masculine heals, and then there is rise of the kundalini or the serpent energy. Remember the serpent bracelets. If you see the Egyptian movies, they wear the serpent bracelets. It represents the awakening of the divine energy that's sitting dormant within our energy system, right? And when you become that divine, you awaken the divine energy in you of the masculine and feminine balance, you yourself become divine. So these goddesses that we see again and again in different religions, no matter what culture, what religion you, or what goddess you pray to, but every one is representing the divine feminine or the divine masculine side. So same way, Goddess Bastet, she is representing the feminine side. So let's quickly go into the message, because it's the era of divine feminine healing, and through my own personal experiences, I ended up on being this path, and through the research I ended up finding so much, which is still feels like, I'm missing a lot of more information. It's like just 0.0000001% of the, just a drop in the ocean, and you need to know more. So anyhow, let's just get into the message quickly. The message is that she is the, all right, I'll share one more picture. This is very beautiful. Because the topic is divine feminine, right? So let me show you this picture again. See this very closely. Okay, why is it not clear? 1 second. Yes, so if you, it's the internet. Yes, thank you. By God's grace. So if you see, the ankh is right here. So the three lower ones, so sacral, the womb is here, right here, okay, and then the root, the pelvic side, and the heart is here, heart chakra. And this representation is the coming down. The three lower chakras are connected to the physical aspect, so coming to the physical and physically manifesting your soul's desires, purpose, mission. She's again holding this instrument, the music, to connect to the vibration. And do you see the light, the healing, the fertility, the growth, the development, right? And the blue clearly represents the divine feminine. Now there is one more picture I would like to share before I share the message. So if you see this one, do you see the moon that she has over her head? She looks very vicious, very scary in this picture. But do you see the moon? That it reminds me of the representation again of the black goddess Kali Ma, because the divine feminine is not always this kind, compassionate, but if she needs to protect, because if you read about Bastet, right, so she is, in short, if you get a little deep into it, she's very ferocious at times, cunning at times, right? And why? Because in order to protect at times, you need to have this energy where you, if you need it, you can destroy as well. So the moon represents, the crown on the moon represents the divine feminine. So the message is that, she is loving, caring, compassionate towards her subject, at the same time ruthless, cunning, and very powerful, independent woman. Her cat like features make her distinct from the other goddess. Belonging to the Lyran house, she is the high priestess in service of divine love and divine feminine. So, all the priestesses, priests that are rising or they prayed to her in the Egyptian times, they are now they are being called upon, because the soul energy, there's a vibration in you that will always connect you to this deity. So, if and Lyran house, they are known for their cat like features and spreading their roots across the galaxies. They are known like our forefathers of the humanoids on this planet. So, the source of all creation and destruction, her soul travels from one galaxy to another, establishing the house of divine feminine power on planets she visits. She is, through her representation, showing not just her followers, okay, that but many souls who wish to advance. So, if you're trying to advance in your spirituality, so she's trying to, you have to start from the healing of your divine feminine. So if one pays attention to only their kind, compassionate, nurturing side, then the more they nurture, they tend to become soft, shy, and not express themselves. So if you're always the nice, kind one, you will feel like most of the light workers are going through that we were always shy and would not talk much about ourselves. So what happened was other people started overshadowing us, and we accepted to be in those shadows and not come out and take the front row or the front seat and take decisions for ourselves. So what happens is that too much of kind-hearted nature, anything of too much is not good. It's the same. So, and if one pays attention only to their leadership independent side, then they will become aggressive, excessive, expressive, and authoritative, and lose the touch of kindness, nurturing, love, compassion within oneself. Now we have seen that in the name of Me Too movement and the rise of the female power, there are many women who are now screaming, shouting. No, I always tell you, it's not about raising your voice. It's about using these feminine energies, and then with a stern voice, with a stern, wordings, putting your thoughts, expressing yourself. So you don't have to scream and shout. This is masculine, toxic masculine telling you have to speak up, you have to be loud, you have to fight, you have to shout. No, you don't have to do that. In order to make a point, you can always be peaceful, and still in one or two words you can put your point so nicely that others, they just go silent. All the voice that raises against you, that's going to go silent. And that this is a practice. You have to practice these energies, not just know, yeah, okay, I have to change this or that. You have to continuously practice them. All right. So therefore, balance of both the divine feminine side is needed. As you balance a motherly side versus this leader warrior side, the divine feminine rises. So now I hope it makes sense to you that you have to, right? You have to balance the motherly side that's present in you and also this warrior leader side that's present in you. That's the key. I hope this message helped you. With lots of love and light, Princess, Starlight.